And welcome back. Author and caregiver advocate Carolyn A. Brent is joining us this morning. We were talking about those crucial questions that you need to talk about with your loved one with when it comes that time. And Carolyn, we were talking during that commercial break with a guest in the studio, and he mentioned put yourself in your loved one's shoes when they're being asked those questions. You're hoping that at least those thoughts are going through their mind, but I think that's a good thing to think about. Put yourself in their shoes, right?
Absolutely. That is why I am an advocate as to you got to do your own paperwork first. Because the bottom line, if you can show and tell, Mom and Dad, I have my 5 wishes in place. Boy, it's exciting. So I know at my end of life, these are my 5 wishes. Your mom and dad, that's when you're putting they're going into your place because they're going to want to know, why are you excited? Maybe that's a great idea for me. And these are conversations that you just don't throw on a person. You just kind of ease your way into it. So when you have your own paperwork, legal documents in order first, the conversation becomes very easy because you have that experience. So I recommend you got to put your own, everyone needs their own paperwork in place anyway. Plus, another thing that I really want to make mention, you got to know where all the legal documents are once you do put them in place. That's crucial. I lost all of my daddy's legal documents because I had moved over the years, and I think 15 years later is when I needed to get my hands on it, and I had no idea where they were. And I thought I could just go and pick them up at the courthouse. That's not easy to do, so hold on to them in a very, very safe place.
Should all your family members have a copy of it, perhaps, or just one person should know?
Well, the whole family should get involved, but one thing that I will always say, there may be a family that's dysfunctional, and there's plenty of dysfunctional families around. If that is the case, you want to get a third party involved, then everyone could sign a sibling contract knowing this is what mom and dad's wishes are. This is the person that's going to take care of the parent. Because the bottom line is this, you could have all the legal documents in place if you can't get your hands on it, and the sibling that's never been around, or a family member or a stranger, they could come in on the back end of caregiving and really make havoc for that caregiver. Because once you are accused of something like vexatious litigation, and that's just illegal act of trying to pull someone down, the courts are going to listen to that person that's making the allegations until they see if it's true or not. So you want to make sure you know where the documents are, have everything in writing, and that is the bottom line. That's very crucial.
And that brings me to my next question, and you probably answered it thinking, what if you're away on vacation or you're out of state and an emergency happens? You're going to have that third party there, maybe a non-family member, to come in and provide for your loved one.
I tell you, Carol, that is a great question right there in itself. On my personal end of life, I have 3 people across the nation and one here in Florida that knows all my end of wishes. They're in my Kool-Aid. They have all my legal documents. And the bottom line, you have to have a list. Like anytime you go any place, even to get an apartment, they always say, well, who's your emergency contact? How many emergency contacts? We as a society, we got to be the CEO of our own lives. We have to have an evacuation plan. Can someone call on? What if that caregiver's out of town? Who can she or he call on? And once you have all those particular documents in place, as far as I would suggest 3 people, then that's a really good safeguard for yourself.
Wow. This is just amazing advice. And all I can say is you are so stinking organized, friend. I'm telling you, you're going to live to be 100, and all your care providers are going to pass before you. And you're going to have to find some more. So.
Yeah.
But still.
Well, end of life is really beautiful because if you take care of the business, you can enjoy your life. I'm 59. I always say that. Beautiful and fine. I don't stress off of anything because all of my legal documents are in place. Everybody knows what their role is, and I'm enjoying my life every moment of it.
Well, we are enjoying you as our guest here once a month. And Carolyn, again, we thank you for your passion and your heart, what you're doing, and the information you're giving all of us. And like we said during the commercial break, it's very important that we have these discussions, and it's great to have you as part of our show. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful day, and we'll talk to you next month.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
And we'll be back with more NTV's Good Life in just a moment. Stay with us.